Welcome to my 5-day fly fishing Iceland adventure that starts off with the volcano exploding, the biggest brown trout I've ever seen in my entire life, local Icelandic fishing guides who taught me a ton about fishing, and overall an adventure I'll never forget. We started a fishing adventure at a remote lodge in northern Iceland. Today I landed in Iceland and it was my very first day. Our goal was to go to Iceland and fly fish and catch as many big fish as possible, catch them on film for a fly fishing film tour. Now fly fishing to Iceland is a little bit different than what you think. Back in the United States, we were going through heat waves, and in Iceland, it was cold. It was almost snowy cold.
This is what our car looks like in the morning when you're fishing in Iceland. Just a bunch of ice. You know, there's like heat waves going on back at home, and here we are in Iceland, and our cars are freezing in the middle of August.
In today's video, I'm gonna go over what it was like the first few days of fishing in Iceland, some of the lodges that we went to, some of the roads that we traveled on.
Dude, look at these things. First time in Iceland and you're fishing with these sandals. So finally figured out what these were for. He had me put these on. It's so that when you go in because the lodge is like really nice in there, when you go in the lodge, you're not getting your like muddy boots like in the lodge, so you're keeping it clean. He just said he was using a 9-pound leader last week and it was too weak. I mean, that probably broke it.
Let's go. I was talking to one of the farmers, and he said the ducks, you know, they get the youngsters out, you know, in the spring.
Yeah.
And then they disappear.
No.
Where?
No, you're serious?
Yeah.
The trout eat the ducks, the ducklings?
Yeah.
There's not too many places like this.
Yeah, they're
It's
not.
pretty remote.
Yeah, it's pretty remote and not too many places. I mean, it's just a unique river. Every time I come to the bank, you know, I just like to, you know, calm down and take a look at it. Start reading the water, see there are different, you know, different currents going on. You know, see if we can locate some feeding line or hiding line or something like this. I like to look for like a water that's like slow and maybe a little bit curly, because I know there's something that's stopping that water.
All right, so this is day one fishing. We just got here. We flew into Keflavik this morning, drove all the way up here, finally made it to the lodge, and the volcano started actually erupting today. So this is actually a really cool day for us to get up here and fish. So we're gonna be fishing with that. You know, we're gonna be fishing up here for the first day. We have till 10 o'clock tonight to be fishing, so a little bit cold and breezy, but we're gonna try that. And man, I can't wait. These fish are huge, and this is why we came to fish Iceland. These big brown trout. I mean, really big. I can't believe that we're fishing with 12-pound test line. So I cannot wait to get started.
And to be honest with you, it took a little bit of getting used to till we got the hang of things. Look, fly fishing in Iceland is a little bit different than what I've been used to. There's lava rock, the rivers are not super deep, not super rapid, and the structure in which you fish is totally different than anything I've ever experienced. And later in this video, you're gonna see me catch my first big brown trout, my biggest brown trout to date that I had ever caught. Up to that point, it was the biggest brown trout that I had ever caught in my entire career, but boy did I have to work for it.
Throw a couple rocks in the boat. Oh man.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. Fatty is all in the back.
It's quite interesting. And you know, a new volcano starting today, making new lava. So
All right, so we just got to our location. This is the second day, and we're gonna head down right now and fish with Gear for day two. The guys last night were showing me all these pictures of all these big fish, so I'm super excited. I mean, there's some absolute monster fish. Like, you know, they're going by centimeters, so they're like, you know, 55, 60, 62 centimeters, which is like 25, 26, 27-inch brown trout in here. Some of the biggest brown trout that I've ever seen in my life. They were showing me pictures. They caught those yesterday. They're right down here, so I'm pretty excited.
But luckily the second day, things were about to change. We had a different guide, we had a different section of the river, and it took us a little while, but our luck was about to change.
Brilliant guys were with us two other days. They're coming here the first time. And basically our lesson with them was their self-talk, because one was new and he was not catching anything, and he was starting to say to himself, what am I doing wrong, what am I doing wrong? And I said to him, it's a terrible thing, it's a terrible self-talk. You're tearing yourself apart. So say to yourself, I'm closer to the next, I'm closer to the fish, I'm gonna get a fish. Say something like this and just keep on. And he starts catching and catching and catching. It was unbelievable. He was hugging me just a couple of hours ago and saying, you know, I learned more about myself fishing in this river than anything I've done in my life.
The guys that we met from
Yes.
Wales?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, I think it's not too windy for the drone. Like maybe if we go from like one spot. Nice.
I think there will be less wind and no rain.
Excellent. Man, this is not going my way, or this is not going the way I want. Like this, I suck at this, you know? Because you can see other people be successful at stuff. And they went through the same thing you probably did, but it's hard to tell yourself like, no, you're not doing anything wrong. There's nothing you're doing wrong.
We can do streamers down there. That's a good streamer water.
Okay.
This is more like a dry fly area here.
Okay.
So should we go for dry fly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
He's like, oh.
go.
Það er rétt. Herra, það kom heim daginn. Pabbi segir eitthvað svona haltrar. Og ég bara svona.
There haven't been any fish in this river in 10 years. These guys paid all this money to come out here. He's like, are you still tricking tourists to come over here and fish? They go, yeah, they see pictures, they believe it. Come from this guy's from the United States, he has no idea. Yeah, so this is our third session fishing. And our guide's over here talking to the local farmer, and I don't know what they're talking about over there, but they've been talking for a long time. So we're just sitting here kind of anxiously waiting to go and fish. Yep. Yep. Oh. 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 Oh my God, that's crazy. Oh my God, that was crazy. Dude, this is a huge fish. Oh my gosh. I like have all this lava rock, so I'm like, oh my gosh. Whoa! Oh. That was, oh my God, that thing was huge. Oh. Yeah, when you said let him go and he was splashing, I knew that if I like put my rod like that. There. Oh my God, come right. Yes! No way! No way! Oh my God, that's a toad. Oh my God, that's a toad. No way! No way! Oh my God, look at the size of that thing. No unbelievable way. Oh my gosh. No way. Top one, I think, yeah. That was unbelievable. Yeah, top one, yeah. You got the net? He's good. Oh, dude, that was. Oh my God, look at the size of that thing. Eric, you think you can make your way over to the bank?
Best shot. is like this. When you see the whole and the head like this. No filter.
Gotcha.
Lift the tail a little bit.
Hold on to him for just a sec.
Put the head down.
All right,
And then just release it.
ready? There he goes. Yeah, my goodness. My goodness. Oh.
That's great.
Dude, that was the most epic dry fly take I have ever seen in my life. Well, so we were fishing with a dry dropper, you know, here, and then you're like, this is really shallow, so we're just gonna dry fly fish this. And then you had me go right in the seam a couple of times, and then you're like, put it right by the bank, and I put it right, I'm like, okay, this water is only like this deep.
Yes. Yes.
And he was just right there, and he took it, and I could not believe it. And I tried to like kind of wait a little bit and set it, and I was like, no way. That was
Fantastic.
he was right like under, like, there's nothing in there. That water is so shallow.
Yeah.
He was right underneath that lily pad, just like,
He was there, he turned around again. So that's why he was so close.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So he might have been
Might have been
farther
just below
up.
the little stone there. And your fly went over, and he turns around, and he comes, boom.
That was the craziest dry fly take I've ever seen in my ever in my life. And that fish was the biggest brown trout I've ever caught.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well done.
Not hooked. The other one was the biggest one I hooked.
That's probably the biggest hook. That one was double size of this one.
No way.
Yes.
And now it's the biggest. I mean, that's the biggest one I've ever
That
touched.
was so deep. It was like this. So
That was
let's see what
unreal. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe my eyes. Wow.
all right.
That was unbelievable.
Let's get these more gloves.
Easily the biggest brown trout I've ever landed in my life. Biggest one hooked and the biggest one landed in my life. You know, like, why did I come all the way to do this? And then all of a sudden you hook the biggest one and you lose it, you're all excited, and then that was the coolest dry fly take I've ever seen in my life. Came down, took it, landed that one. Oh man. And he said that the one that I lost was twice the size of that one. That was cool. Big old buck.
All right.
Oh man, look at this.
What's the game plan here?
So there's another spot just similar to the one that we just fished. Basically dry fly fishing on the bank, or very, very, very close to it. A little bit longer, but looks similar to that spot. I mean, and that spot was not very long and not very open. So there's a little bit more water, but we're gonna try the same thing, dry fly, try to get them. It's evening time, so we're fishing caddis. So hopefully get another one on dries is what we're thinking. Yeah, so there's a top one there. Custom tied.
And then we have another one for you to see. We have a floating. This is a floating nymph. You know, it's a foam and some pheasant tail feathers. So it looks like a caddis nymph swimming in the surface. So we're basically fishing with the two dries.
No, I did drink the water.
Did you? And how did it taste?
Good?
Yeah. tastes
Cold.
great. Yeah. There's no like bad water taste. It's just like best water you can get. You can have some more.
That's just so crazy to me. I'd never drink in any river in the United States, ever. Any of them. I don't care what anybody said.
Far different than what I had expected originally flying into Iceland, fishing with Iceland. It was really amazing to meet multiple different guides. They speak super good English there. I was amazed at that. If anybody wants to go fly fishing to Iceland, if you've ever thought about doing it, I would have your expectations set really low, because when you're going here, you're expecting all these big brown trout to just come out of everywhere, rising brown trout like you see in the videos. You have to earn, there's a strange thing about this land that you have to earn your right to catch fish. One of the things I learned from one of the fishing guides is that you have to earn your right to catch these fish. These are big magical fish and they're very, very special. And apparently you have to put your dues in to actually deserve to catch them. The next day we were really lucky to have sunny weather, which is very rare in the summer of Iceland, and some just huge brown trout.
Oh! Wow!
You're getting guys getting excited.
All of a sudden you feel that. That's incredible. That's like you were talking about, that adversity. It's so rewarding when you do get it.
Absolutely.
If you got it every time, it wouldn't.
Great.
So where are we now? We're by the red.
We are by the Red Hills, which is this is a lava formation that is extremely nice and beautiful. And the best part of it holds big fish. So we're gonna try that one out. That's gonna be exciting.
So what would you do if somebody asked you, if, let's say, somebody calls you and says, I want to fish in Iceland. I don't know anything about it. Are there bugs in Iceland? What would you say?
Well, depends on your life philosophy. If you're bothered by bugs, they're gonna bother you. If you accept it, if you accept they're there, man, you're in heaven. They're not gonna bug you.
There are a few. Are they bugging you? Hey Eric, I think it's time for you to eat one. I drank the water out of the river yesterday.
All right, looks good.
Looks good?
Let's rig you up.
When you tie this up, you cut that foam very specific shape.
Yeah,
Like it's a big, thick piece of
yeah.
foam and you cut it the way you want.
Same as this one, see?
Does it hangs off better, so instead of hanging off
Yeah.
this way, it hangs off better?
Yeah.
They look the same
Yeah, it's
to me.
Yeah, not that famous, but some part of the fishing community knows, the angling community. You know, we have a fly fishing school where we're teaching dry fly fishing.
Really?
Yeah. We call it die or dry,
And that's like in the wintertime.
or dry or die. You can choose which one. And entomology. And also all kinds of stuff that's useful to know when you want to become a good fly fishing man. And we'll probably add in acceptance of bugs. That will be a new class.
I need to take that one.
Right? Maybe a little bit of both so they can see.
There?
Yeah.
So when people say they catch fish on squirmy wormies,
Yeah.
is that this technique or are they just like...
One technique is like this. It tends to be not very cool a way to fish to use for the purist. But man, gotta do what he gotta do when the river is like this, and if you want to catch.
There's also people that only want to do dry flies. And
Yeah.
everybody, of course, wants to do that.
Yeah.
But then I also want to catch fish.
Yeah, I mean, 70% of my fishing is dries.
70%.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you teach the
But
class
then
on
I
it.
started cheating and I started to use droppers under my dry. And then it's not 90% of my fishing is dries and dry droppers. casting a dry fly on a rising fish is of course optimal.
I wonder how many times a day I'm gonna say I swallowed a fly.
Just go in and get it. All right.
But that's what it's like when you see the shots of the bugs like landing on the camera. That's exactly what it's like in my eyes when I'm fishing, because the bugs are crawling on my glasses. So what you're seeing on there is what it actually like looks like for me fishing in the water. But what a difference in today. Like the weather's just been crummy the last week, and today is our first sunny day. It's just unbelievable. It's just like a dream being out. There's not a cloud in the sky. We just fished this one spot just because it's really picturesque, and he said sometimes a big fish kind of holds in here. We're gonna get back in the Jeep, go try another spot. So I've never seen anybody do that. Try that.
No.
It's like a really genius idea. When you're streamer fishing, is it critical that streamer's on the bottom or close to it, or no?
It's better if it's close to it.
Okay.
But we use a lot of surface streamers as well. When we're searching for fish, we see them coming for them to find spots. Yeah.
You good?
Yeah. Good. You want me to test it? Test or not?
Yeah, because if it comes off, then I can blame you.
Yeah. It's exactly the way it works. With a broken.
No way.
Yeah.
So. See that? I tested it. I actually thought it was on there really good.
Now there has to be, because they take some streamers, they can be really violent.
On the bottom.
No. All right. Let's go below.
I always thought it had to be like...
You can go in and cast over to the fast current. You'll take it.
This looks like such a good spot for a big fish. This section of the river, there's a lot of big fish, but there's not very many of them. And so a lot of times you're just searching. You're fishing very, very slowly and methodically, but you're just searching and searching for those big brown trout. So a spot like this isn't gonna hold a lot of them, but if it does, you do get one, it's gonna be. This is when you see pictures of Iceland, this is what you see.
Yeah.
Blue skies, and then the green, the blue water, just unbelievable scenery.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's cloudy today, it'll be fine tomorrow, you know?
Yeah. So you see there's a sand in the middle?
Now here's that caddis. Whoop.
It's under your shoe. Just next to your shoe, it's coming on it.
So that's the exact size of a caddisfly that we cut.
Okay. It makes sense also, I mean, if you think about it. When you feel like you have earned something by giving, you are more ready to receive. What do you think so?
She said the water.
It's so heavy, the nymph, and it slowly sinks the dry fly. That's why it's.
So you said the water temperature dictates like how active those fish are.
Yeah. Maybe put on a little bit lighter nymph.
Are all your nymphs tungsten?
No. I use unweighted, little weighted, heavy weighted. Just all depends. But everywhere you go, you meet the same challenge, don't you? If you want to master something. Can you imagine golf? How frustrating that is? Hvað segir meistarinn? Hvað segir Sigbjörn gott? Sérðu eitthvað?
This morning I was looking through, there's like, you have like a digital log of all the fish that were caught.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them on like caddis.
Yeah.
And the dry fly. Like a lot.
Yeah. And then we'll get.
Okay. There's one advantage of being tall. You know, and when you wade deep like this, you find out where all the leaks are in your waders that you never knew before you had. And people get caught up in that a lot with flies. It's like, I want you to sell me the 10 best flies for this area. Dude, hours and hours of that casting, and then all of a sudden, bam! Whoa! Dude! Oh my gosh, man, this one's huge. Dude, that was insane. Oh, he doesn't even fit in the net.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a big one.
Absolutely stunning. So that the first one we caught, this one's a little bit bigger. Again,
Great.
that was, oh my God, that was so crazy. That was huge. And I landed that one. That was, oh my God, that was so epic. Biggest brown trout I have, oh my, maybe not ever hooked. I don't know how big that other one was, but I still can't, my hands are like, I was trying to take some video, but my hands are like shaking. You know, I'm nervous, but also, look, that's about as excited as I get for me. When the guide gets excited when you get a fish and he says, that's a big fish, and he starts to smile, you know that that fish is going to be absolutely
Incredible.
incredible. The colors on that thing were just perfect, like the yellow body on it,
Yeah.
the spots, just how healthy it was, how he's fighting, you know. And then he released just super healthy into the water. I'm pretty stoic, like my face, and I'm pretty like quiet and stoic, and to see me light up like that.
Because you already saw it.
And you're just casting and casting and casting, maybe hundreds of times. You set the hook, and then you're kind of, you can feel the fish moving. You know it's a fish, and you kind of have a second thought in your mind, like, it's probably just the bottom, because I've caught the bottom hundreds of times. And you're like, no, I got one. So it takes you a second to really realize you got it. And then you're fighting it, and then you get really nervous the closer it gets, because I had that one that came off yesterday. You're like, please just let it stay on, you get it in the net. And then when you're scooping it up in the net, those fish are so big, their heads kind of come like this, and you have to get like their head in there and scoop them up, and they kind of bow in there. They don't just land in there. It's like, I mean, it's like that. That's like that long. Gets in the net, and then take the fly out, get your pictures, and then just as healthy as can be. They just release them. That was, my goodness. That was the coolest fish I've ever seen. Biggest brown trout of my life, by far, hands down. That was awesome.
Not by far. The other one you caught half an hour ago was just a little bit smaller than
Little
this.
bit small, close, very close.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it?
Incredible.
We got the weather, we got the fish, we got everything now.
Except for the last 2 days of us
A cat. Yeah.
freezing and rain and frustration and all that. You know, the other thing that is incredible is that this river is so big that you know exactly where to go, because you can see that seam line.
Yeah.
You know the depth and the seam line and everything. To me, it still kind of looks kind of all the same. We're just kind of out here just in the middle of the river, and you know exactly right there. I mean, if you're fishing anywhere else, maybe you wouldn't be as successful. You know, right, exactly the seam line they're just stacked up on.
Yeah.
Incredible. So flat and just like slow. Like I would never, if I was on my own, I would skip this whole section. I'd go find some riffle or a pocket or something. This is what we're using.
Yeah.
Your fly here, a bunch of moss to camouflage it, some more camouflage all the way on the leader, and then all the way onto the tip of the rod all the way down here. I mean, that's probably the super secret.
It's a camouflage. Skip it.
It definitely blends
You
in
buy them
with
in
the water.
special stores. Don't show anybody this. This is our secret.
Telling them like I freaked out over like just the smallest thing. It's kind of what I'm known for.
Talked about it. But I will tell you, we might find it. You know, the farmer there might find it. So it's not lost yet.
It'll just become an artifact.
So maybe your next journey will be bringing the drone home, and you come back here next summer and talk to the farmer and get the drone and
Oh yeah.
take it a little bit further out. You can come closer here. So the dopamine factor is much higher after you did some hardship. So, and that's how you get hooked.
You know, you have the expectations and what you want out of the trip.
And today has surpassed everything that I've ever wanted out of the trip. It just
I can tell you, there's a Danish show. They're really funny. It's called The Clown, and they are hitting the nail on all kind of society issues and making fun of them. And so the character, his name is Frank. He's talking to his wife about that he doesn't trust immigrants. That immigrants are really shaky people, and his beliefs is really that immigrants are not to be trusted. And then he's outside and his car doesn't start, and he needs somebody to help him to push the car. And there comes an immigrant, obviously an immigrant, comes on a bicycle and stops and says, "Is something wrong? Can I help?" And he said, yeah, thank you. My car doesn't run. And he said, "We just have to push him and get him going." And he said, Frank says, yeah, let's do it. And the immigrant says, "Okay, I jump in the car, you push." and he pushes and pushes, and finally the car starts, and he drives away, the car. And he's like, "I can't believe it. How stupid am I? I put an immigrant in my car."
That you don't trust.
That you don't trust, and he drives away. But he left his bicycle there, because the immigrant was on a bicycle. So he takes the bicycle and he hops on it and steps on it and completely destroys it. And when he's about to walk away, he hears
He comes back.
He comes back. "Hey, he's fine. The car is fine." And he just sneaks in the car and drives away and looks in the mirror with his shitty face. And you can see the immigrant is like standing in front of his bicycle bus. What the fuck happened? That video is gonna go viral. Get this shit out of the river. Disgusting.
Looks like a, what do you call those things? Jellyfish.
Nobody needs this. The river. Okay, I think we just go. We go to another spot, the final spot.
Doesn't that look like a volcanic? Good thing I gave you those waders. If it came out of the cheap waders. We couldn't afford full waders for him.
Real waders for him. He was wearing these.
I think one of the things I like about this river, I'm always finding new spots. I'm always discovering a new behavior. He's not here. He was here yesterday. Where did he go? You understand? And I think that's the magic of it. Is he there?
Where's that?
No,
Where's
he's
that
in
guy?
Iceland fishing.
Today we're fishing a different section, a different beat of the river that's a little bit faster, has more fish, and somebody had actually caught a huge fish, maybe 30 inches, just last week. Our guide today, his name is Billy, and he's been fishing here since he was a kid.
Day fishing here in Iceland. We're fishing with Billy today. He's been here for like 18 years. He knows this river like the back of his hand.
You can kind of feel the pressure on the pools by the road. So just 2-minute walk from the car, like the pressure is on. You can find water everywhere nobody has fished.
Like where those guys are up there, that's like the closest to the road, so those two pools just get pounded.
Yeah.
And we're doing the opposite. You're going all the way down, so
Yeah.
you can fish the more unfished water down here.
Yeah.
Less pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sweet. You know, right there?
Yeah, right there.
That looks so money. Right. Look. Yep. Yes! Yes!
Keep him upstream, keep him upstream.
First cast.
Good job.
That was money. So the difficult part, he said, is keeping this fish from going down into this like boulder field over here. So that's going to be a rodeo if he does that. So yeah. Oh! Woo! That was so cool. First cast right in this new spot. That was awesome. Had the fly come exactly where he said he kind of have to thread it in there. There's all this fast water everywhere, and first cast, and I'm trying just like the life of me to keep him out of there, keep him happy up here. He can play here, but I do not want him to go downriver. That would be very bad. That's fine. He can fight over here in the calm water. He's not one of the crappy water down below. Woo! Look at this plumpy little fish. Not little. Look at this plumpy guy. Just look at how wide he is. Look at his belly's all full and fat. Look at that. Colors on him. The other thing is, like right here, you see this blue? Is that's characteristic of maybe only Iceland brown trout?
Yeah, we have a lot of that blue cheek here.
The size of that fish is nice. Awkward release there. Dude, that's cool.
Is it?
That's right where you said too. You're just right in between those two rocks. First cast, just bobber goes down. He just takes off. He's splashing. He's going left. He's going right. Usually brown trout don't jump. Like I'm not used to like them jumping. This one just went bananas, left and right and splashed. It is cool. That was cool. That was a really cool fight.
The young fish, they do it all the time. They go crazy for a minute, just jumping, holding the tail, kind of dancing on the water.
These bugs are just annoying the heck out of the camera guy. He forgot his glasses, so he's regretting that decision. Yeah, there's a few bugs around your face. You're not even looking at me because you're. We're gonna let you fish this pool if you want. That way you get to get one.
Because you have too much slack going on.
Yeah.
Take this. Yep, strike. And follow it. Yep.
Oh! Eric just missed another one.
Fish on? Oh, I got that.
And cast. Oh! Oh boy.
Yeah, baby!
Bring him to you, back here, back behind you. Yeah! Yeah!
Small guy. That was a good cast. I said that's perfect.
It was a good cast, yeah. Little man.
Yeah.
Took the slack and I followed it all the way.
Yeah.
I need like 3 more of those to equate the one you caught. A nice fish.
You want to let it go?
Sure. Ready?
Yeah.
That was incorrect.
No way.
The worst cast and
They're everywhere, baby.
No way. You cast it in like the worst spot. You pulled that trout out of there.
I knew there was going to be a fish there.
We were both like, that's not where you're going to get hung up. And you showed us wrong.
easy currents. There's a lot of like oxidation, a lot of yeah.
Here comes the there you go.
Oh, it's too little for your standards are quite high being in Iceland
it's
now.
too little for your standards. I mean, you want quality fish with that camera, so couldn't bring it in. Don't record that.
Oh, this is pretty bad.
Saw the floating line go around it, so I was trying to just do it the other way. And that happened.
You know, never thought I'd be fishing in Iceland, fishing a squirmy wormy.
No.
You know, it's just not something you think is
Come on, Eric. Get it on that one.
No, just keep it in there. Oh. It's a little bit bigger.
Baby step. It's a little
Yeah.
bit bigger.
Eric, I'm not an expert, but you need to keep your eyes a little more open. Maybe take your face shield off.
Shut up.
So you're enjoying fishing in Iceland?
Not right now. It's just without the glasses, it's really hard because
Yeah.
they're like in there.
Well, there's enough of them over here. You don't want a combined force of mine and yours.
He says there's less flies on the other side.
I heard him say there's more over there. You know, this autofocus is tough with these flies because it doesn't, like the one lands on the lens, it like throws it off. These bushes down here make it difficult because your line is kind of coming in, getting tangled on those. You can see where like he's broken off part of the bush here.
I can't see any fish here, so might as just walk further down.
I think those flies just attacked Eric. He's loving them.
Try to false cast less. Try to load hold your rod tip low and let it drift. Follow it with the line with the rod tip. You can go a little bit further out with your casts.
Hey Eric.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert, but I'm going to give you a little advice that you don't want to hear, and you're probably going to be pissed. But in Iceland, the fish are in the river, not on the bank.
Now let it extend all the way down. So straighten out your line. Now try to just take it, load it.
You make it look so easy, Eric.
That's why I wanted you to fish, so you can see what it's like.
These bugs are not helping. I can barely see.
It's weird. I hear a lot of complaining too. A lot of complaining.
Do faster strips. Do like this. Okay. Now load it. Hit.
No, I thought I did, but maybe I got snagged somewhere.
Really, do you have to fight, as a guide, do you have to fight people's maybe expectations of coming here? A lot, like they see the pictures on Instagram and they think, oh, I want to catch that 10-pound brown that some guy caught 2 years ago.
Yeah, you do. You do have to like control expectations. A lot of people maybe don't have the ability or the health, physique, whatever. Like it's hard work, it's long hours, it's a lot of casts, a lot of walking. So maybe if you're not in shape to walk like 2 miles, 3 miles, like it can be hard because big fish they're tricky and you need to be really versatile with casting and techniques, because some days will be dry, some days nymphs, some days streamers. Like in this river we fish a break between 2 and 4. So we start at 8, fish until 2. There's a break, you eat lunch, maybe take a nap, then you go back out, fish until 10. It's not a law, but it's just how we do it here. It's easier, it's many rods, so we don't have people coming in every hours of the day for lunch and that kind of stuff.
I got a bug in my ear.
It's like stuck in there?
I think I got it out.
How to get in there? Your ears are like covered.
Birkir. Try saying that.
Bitkir.
Birkir. You have to roll the R.
That's why we call you Billy.
Yeah.
We can pull, we just fished this out. We gave Eric a chance to fish. Maybe hooked one or missed a couple here, and right in front of here, kind of sand, and then it just drops off, and right on that drop off, it just looks really, really good in there. When you get to these pools, it's like the first 10 casts, like is when you're gonna hook them. Like in the one pool, 3rd cast I hooked them. Here it was like 4th cast or something. Eric hooked one, so. And he was telling me too when we were fishing over there that somebody caught a 30 incher.
Yeah, 32, I think.
32-inch brown trout. That is unbelievable. This year?
This year, yeah. A month ago.
A month ago, 32-inch brown trout came out of this river.
Just imagine if he goes across, you have a 5X on.
Like, it could just be like a normal size fish. It's got to be, of course, the biggest one. I don't believe you. You're too serious. If you really did, you'd have a little more excitement in your voice. We did like, I don't know, what do you say, 4 miles yesterday? In the waders and in the water. Dude, this guy is working, he's doing 2 sessions a day. So he's getting up in the morning, getting everything all packed and ready, getting breakfast, guiding, walking, when we're all out of breath, and then he's guiding again in the afternoon, goes to bed, repeats this, no breaks, 7 days a week for the whole summer. And he's way ahead of it. I have to catch my breath.
Oh yeah, you're getting gradually bigger. Oh! Come about. sloppy net job, but we got him. Also, when you were catching fish, you have more confidence on your hook set, on your cast, on everything. So that's why I talked about the confident flies. If you have confidence in your fishing gear and your flies and everything, you'll hook more fish. Instead of using a fly you bought at a shop that one guy told you that would work and it doesn't work.
I was just saying something that caught my eye because I was asking Billy, like, this river is so unique because there's so many places to fish. It's just like heaven for fly fishermen. You can streamer fish, holes and buckets and back eddies and that kind of thing, nymph fish, dry fly fish if they're rising. But there's just so much water here. It's just like a labyrinth of like pools and back eddies. And what we were saying is that there's a lot of spots that are like really good to fish, but people can't get into them because you have to cross in really deep, fast water and get over there. And then also the currents kind of come really fast and then really slow, and that's where all the fish are. You can get your fly in there, but most people can't mend super well in there. So it's very challenging for people to keep a drag-free drift in there. And so if you can, he's saying some of these really good spots you can get back into and go where other people, wouldn't want to go or wouldn't think. Or there's a lot of like hidden little spots that he said are here. And then there's the spots where like everybody fishes, like right where the truck was. There's a bunch of dudes fishing up there. So, but I was also saying, like, this reminds me of like the average person can cast only so far. And the farther you can cast and mend, the more fish you're going to catch. So if you look at a spot that is out of your reach of a cast, and you can find a way to kind of walk the bank and go up and fish that spot, it's probably going to be really good. Because most people are going to kind of walk up to the bank, get in the water where they're comfortable and stop and cast. And if you can imagine past that point, that's all unfished water. Fish that have never seen a fly before, maybe never been caught more than a couple times a year. So it's just kind of a thing Billy and I were talking about, that if you kind of imagine where everybody else is going, you can still fish those spots, but put more effort into finding other spots that are a little bit more secluded or harder to get to. Or he said his spot that he really likes is right here. He said the water's really high and you have to put a lot of weight on and just kind of mend. And really, really challenging. But that's why the fishing is so good in that spot, because nobody fishes it. So you don't have to open it each time.
Yeah, so like these places, like it's heavy current below you, so it's hard to fight a fish. Also, it's deep and heavy current coming in, so these are spots where fish are holding, but nobody has ever gotten to. It's just impossible. Unless you have a good cast, but then the current will just take it because you're using so much line. Tired if she's skunked.
I was like, really? What do I? Dude, that's crazy. From the car down to here when we started fishing, it's like, okay, this is big, and then you see it in person. You're like, I've never seen a fish that big in my life. At the lodge down there, I like meeting just a bunch of different people from all over the world. It's just, in the U.S., you don't, unless you're in Vegas or New York or something, or Florida, you don't, in Oregon, you don't meet a lot of people from Iceland, Scotland.
Hung up on the rock.
Somewhere down.
Break it up.
We always go down. All right, I'll try to cross and maybe try one little. What do you think? I don't mind crossing or breaking it up or whatever.
I have to go across the bridge. I cannot cross anywhere else.
Yeah,
Just wait to do that.
So we just started fishing this new beat on a different section of the river. We walked down here, we fished this one pool, we fished that pool, and like third cast, like boom. We must have been fishing for about 4 minutes and hooked into just a huge brown trout. And then that trout took off and started fighting, went right in these riffles, of course, all the way down, all the way up, and then he got caught on a rock. So he's on the other side. Billy went all the way down there, across the bridge. And we're gonna try to get this unstuck. It'll be a miracle if the fish is still on it. We just want to get our gear back. He's over there trying to figure out, like, is it possible to get it out or not? If this fish is on the end of this is going to be incredibly entertaining. He's going to weigh it all the way out there. Get it free. And that fish could still be on the end of this. Oh. Well, that was entertaining anyway. First 4 minutes hooking a huge brown trout. Get stuck on the other side of the river. I thought there'd be a chance maybe that he'd still be on, but I think that was wishful thinking.
Sea trout, somewhere, East Coast, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What about you? What's on your bucket list else than the green?
Jurassic Lake.
Oh yeah.
If you want.
Oh, that'd be better than. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Oh my goodness. What the heck? That was here?
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at that.
Jeez. It's like a beekeeper.
No
Wow. How long ago was that?
It was good.
It was good? Wow.
I was just saying these rivers look like Montana rivers a little bit, but they fish so much differently because, you know, they're free flowing. There's no tailwater. There's no main hatch. They don't have mayflies. They kind of hatch at a certain time of the day, so you're constantly searching more, which is a little bit different. The fish are bigger here too, bigger and stronger, and healthier maybe. And so there's fewer numbers of them. It's like, I don't know how many fish per square mile there are in these rivers, but there's a lot of water to fish, but there may be maybe 1 or 2 fish in a pool or 1 fish in a run. And so you're always searching for them. So it's a little bit different than it is fishing in the front. So one main difference is fishing faster water or water that on the seam line that you normally wouldn't have. That's why I learned a lot about it. Dry fly fishing and streamer fishing. We did a lot of streamer fishing. It's kind of interesting fishing in Iceland, the differences.
Today's the day that I finally catch that huge sea run brown trout, you know, the one that I said was 31 inches. We ended up driving halfway around the island from the northern part of the island all the way to the southern in a river that has a ton of volcanic activity. So the water is actually super cold, and in spots it is super
using a little bit heavier fly, maybe fly who you can see better. I think he was like gonna take your indicator. Sometimes they do. It's pretty hard. You know. Take a look at the fly. Maybe it's a moss. No, it's fine. Okay.
You know what? It's probably good I haven't seen him yet.
Okay.
Because I'll get too excited.
Yeah. I think you're a little bit too far away. He's a little bit closer.
A little closer than this?
Yeah, he's a little bit closer now, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I see like a dark spot. I can't see if it's a male or a female. This rig.
Wow. You know, 20-inch brown, and I saw that one up there.
Yeah.
And it kind of rose, and then you, oh, there's a big one in there.
Yeah.
I have no relevance. I have no relevance as this.
Yeah.
31 inches.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Sea run brown trout.
As you experienced, you were just totally a passenger. She went upstream, up every small waterfall,
Yes.
and you didn't know anything what to do. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if you're alone, you're totally screwed. Because I have lost a lot of fish.
Yeah.
That exactly did the same.
Yeah.
Go into that hole and
Yeah.
snap the tippet. So that was a great.
Dude, that was no, that is the biggest fish of my life.
Yeah, I believe.
Of my like.
Yep.
Yeah, and you don't let it get build up too much. A lot of people don't want to.
Yeah, but also
I look very uncomfortable.
I look like a what's it called? Like a in this blue jacket.
Oh, that's good.
I have a lot of stuff here, so I can keep untangling all the bird nest and that you're making, and like
That was me.
it's been a lot of work, guys. Like untangling the nest from the guys, and I can't feel my finger anymore because they are like they get one cast, take another cast, and blew it out. And I've never been with guys who tangle that much, really. So what you're gonna see later is like once in a lifetime, I think, for guys with this less skill. So stay tuned.
When you say guys with less skilled, you're not talking about us for sure. You're talking about somebody else, right?
No, I'm talking about you guys because you were always tangling and I'm always trying to tell you where to put the fly, but it always lands somewhere else. And then you tangle or get stuck and you have lost like 50 flies for me, and I have to charge you a lot after that trip if it's gonna be like that. So yeah.
So one thing that's a little bit different is you told me in the beginning of the trip, if I lose a fly, I have to pay you back for it. So what is it? What's the tab at? Like how much?
Yeah,
right now?
Yeah. It's getting higher and higher.
Cover element. It's funny because it's true. Like we are losing flies and we are missing fish, and we didn't bring the proper rain gear, and we're cold. Our fingers are not used to Iceland weather.
Yeah.
Look at this prime fishing jacket here.
This is not a fishing jacket.
Yeah.
What kind of a jacket is it? Is it not a rain jacket?
No, this is like a windbreaker.
Look at that thing, it's soaked all the way through.
It's a good thing I got another layer underneath.
Yeah,
Oh really?
A better layer.
that's keeping you dry. Not the outside there.
No, not the outside one.
Yeah, we come to Iceland and we we bring these rain jackets that we're used to, maybe light rain. We're not used to all this wind and that kind of thing, and we put it to the test, and we realized it's not up to par.
No, this is a shitty jacket. Shitty rain jacket.
Yeah, the real test is here in Iceland. So, well, it landed like really unusually.
We don't get tangles like you were just saying. That is,
No, I took it back.
you're exaggerating.
And also, you have to stop striking like a ninja. you have to let it flow a little longer. Yeah. Okay, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Pick it up slowly. Okay. We have to make a little bit longer cast if you can reach further than that, and more to the left. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so let it drift down here.
It is definitely like a training grounds to make you tougher and much better fisherman. The amount of stuff that you learn, these different techniques, never used before. Really, they're not easy. This is not an easy pull to fish with all this wind. Just really test your gear and test your mind. Dude, Eric, you gotta try this. No way. You put your hand in the water, your hands warm up. The water's super warm. How do you catch a fish that big on something? Usually it's like you'll catch the bigger ones on the smaller flies.
Yeah, it's like that. But Siren also like to have it big sometimes, but not always. But when the river is blown out like this, I think size 14, 16 is smaller enough. And when mending, Eric, use the height of the fly. Like take the fly line up from the surface, and whip it.
Like that?
Yeah, just hold it up and you use it as a whip in front of his face, so he didn't like fit in the net. It was so.
All right, so we're gonna do cheers to the biggest sea run I have ever seen in my life, ever imagined.
Yeah, it's great.
In my life.
My pleasure to be with you.
Yeah.
So that's like a dream come true.
Absolute dream to come to Iceland and do this.
Yeah.
Oh, just incredible. And here we're on our fishing break. We're gonna drink some beers and go back and fish more.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the entire series of fly fishing in Iceland. I wanted to put like little short segments into YouTube videos, and then I wanted to make one big long one. So if you made it this long in the video, congratulations, because it's probably like an hour-ish long. If you have any questions about fly fishing in Iceland, reach out to me. I only spent a week there, but I learned so much, and I'm still connected with a lot of guides there, and still kind of remember some of the flies that I used and some of the tactics that we use. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. If you go to Iceland, it's expensive, but it is so worth it because nowhere else in the world can you catch fish that big on such remote, pretty, picturesque areas like in Iceland with volcanoes going off in the background and steam vents and that sort of thing. So what an adventure I had. If you get an opportunity to fish Iceland like I did, definitely don't hesitate to go. So hopefully you watch this video. Stay tuned for more videos I have on the channel. And as always, thank you again for watching.